This is the Sakar MURLI of the 14th of August 2023. Essence. Sweet children, pay attention to the philosophy of action, neutral action and sinful action, and don't perform any sinful actions with your physical organs. Make a donation and the bad omens of the eclipse will be removed. Question. By following Father Brahma, in which aspect do you children become seated on the throne in the future? Answer. Father Brahma surrendered everything he had, including his body, and gave everything to serve the children in the name of God. He ensured himself directly and thereby received the kingdom of the world. Follow the Father in the same way. You have to claim a certificate of being worthy. Become real children and serve with your bodies, minds and wealth. Become the Father's true helpers. By ensuring everything, you can claim a right to a kingdom for 21 births. Song. Do not forget the days of your childhood. Om Shanti. You sweetest children heard the song. You children have now died alive and taken the lap of the Father in order to go from this world to that world. Which Father is he? The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, means God. Whenever you explain, you mustn't say that Baba is a Jyotirlingam or that he is the form of light, brighter than 1,000 suns. To say this, in fact, is wrong. What should you say? God, that is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, always resides in the Supreme Abode. The Supreme means the highest on high, the incorporeal Father. He is the Father of all souls, and this is why he is called the Supreme. He doesn't enter the cycle of birth and death. He explains, children, if I too entered the cycle of birth and death, who would give salvation to everyone? I alone come and take everyone beyond sorrow. I am the remover of sorrow and the bestower of happiness, but no one knows this. On the path of devotion, people continue to sing, O Supreme Father, Supreme Soul. They definitely consider him to be the Father, but they don't know what their Father is like or what he is. He doesn't have the form of a human being. People also remember Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar. They can be seen with these eyes, but who is Shiva? People go to a Shiva temple, but they don't know why they remember him. The Father sits here and explains, when the deities go on to the path of sin, they build the temple to Somnath. The only thing they understand is that he is Shiv Baba, but they don't know that he is the creator of heaven, or that he is the one who makes us into the masters of heaven. If they knew this, they would tell others the biography of Shiv Baba. It is fixed in the drama for them not to know. To know means to receive an inheritance. Not to know means to lose the inheritance. The Father says, I, the Creator of heaven, give you happiness and make you pure. Then the 5 vices make you impure and your degrees continue to decrease. You then become ugly. At first you were 16 celestial degrees like the full moon. You were pure, but you are now eclipsed. Baba says, make a donation and the bad omens of the eclipse will be removed. The 5 vices are said to be the eclipse of bad omens through which you souls become unhappy and ugly. The Father says, I am the Father of you Brahmins. O Brahmins, donate to me the 5 vices that you have, and the eclipse of the bad omens will be removed. After donating them today, don't do anything with them. Many storms of Maya will come, but if you become angry, you would be committing sin with your physical organs. I explain the philosophy of action, neutral action, and sinful action. Your actions should not become sinful. I am making you children into conquerors of sinful actions. Those are the omens of Rahu. When you make a donation, the eclipse of the omens will be removed. The Father says, my sweet children, donate those 5 evil spirits. There is no question of any money, etc. in this. He is the Father and you are the real children. The Father surely has to help the real children. You serve with your bodies, minds and wealth. The Father's duty is to serve you. The Father says all of this belongs to you children. You have been giving to God on the path of devotion. However, God is not greedy. You are ensuring yourselves. By giving to God, God will then give to you in your next birth. This is ensuring, is it not? You receive the fruit of it in your next birth. God is the bestower. You are now ensuring yourselves for 21 births. Those people insure themselves for 1 birth. Here, everything is insured for 21 births. It is said, Son shows the Father. Look, whatever the Father, Brahma Baba, had, he used it in the name of God to serve the children. He made Shiv Baba his heir. He gave his body, mind and wealth, and because he did everything directly, he received the sovereignty of the world in return through his own efforts. By belonging to me, you become the masters of heaven for 21 births, but you will receive the inheritance to the extent that you surrender yourselves. You have to surrender everything, including your bodies. Those who follow the Mother and Father will sit on the throne. The Father says, make a donation, and the eclipse of the omens will be removed. If you take something back after you have donated it, you will become degraded. You have to make full effort. Effort-making students who study well claim a number. You too can make effort and claim a high number. There is no question of any difficulty in this. You simply have to remain pure. You receive power from Baba for this, and your mercury of happiness also rises. We want to become deities, so we mustn't have any defects in us. You have to become 16 celestial degrees full and fully viceless here, so you mustn't have any defects. You have been vicious for half a cycle, so Maya says, you're now trying to become viceless, and so I will once again make you vicious. This is the war with Maya that continues. This is the difficulty. You have to conquer Maya. Those people have then shown a violent war and falsified everything. You become the masters of the world by conquering Maya. You children understand that if you don't donate the 5 vices to the Father, you won't be able to marry Sri Lakshmi or Narayan. Therefore, you children should look into the mirror of your hearts. Did I do anything wrong with my physical organs? The storms of Maya that come will be stronger than they were previously. When herbalists give medicine, they warn you that all the old illnesses will erupt before you get better. You mustn't be afraid of this. They will come. That one is also the surgeon. He says, when you become my children, you will have a big war with Ravan. Maya will attack you a great deal. Therefore you mustn't be afraid of storms. You belong to the Father, and so you must not forget this childhood. This is your godly childhood. You come into God's lap once and then into the lap of deities for 21 births. After your godly birth you go to heaven. Each of you has to claim a certificate. Baba, am I a worthy child or an unworthy child of yours? Baba can tell you which number worthy child you are. Baba can tell you what is still lacking in you. You can understand for yourselves. If I do not do service, how can I claim such a high status? Acha, Baba tells you what to do. Open a hospital come college. You may not go there, but when many people receive a cure there, you will receive the reward of that. Human beings build dharamshalas so that many people can rest there, and so they would receive a very good palace in their next birth. Many children come to Baba and say, open this hospital and we will help you. Open a big hospital. If you don't have time to take this knowledge, then just take 3 feet of land and open this hospital come college. Through the hospital you will become ever healthy, and through the college you will become ever wealthy. When many people become this, you will accumulate the charity of that. There is not a lot of expense in this. People nowadays earn so much money. They have property worth millions. Will their sons and grandsons, etc., eat from that? They won't even get the dust. Everything is to be destroyed. The poor ones receive a kingdom. Baba is the Lord of the poor. This Baba was a number 1 ordinary person. Someone who just has 1 or 2,000 would be called a poor person. Here, even the poor can claim a high status. What would you do with 100,000 or 1,000,000 of someone's? Establishment is carried out with every penny of the poor. Gandhi ji used to receive so many donations, and yet so many people died in that. They endured so much difficulty. You don't have any difficulty. The Father says, first of all, study Raj Yoga and the kingdom will be given to you. This kingdom here is like a mirage. There is the story of Draupadi inviting Duryodhana to her palace, and when he came he saw a lake and began to take off his clothes. So Draupadi told him, blind child of the blind, that is just a mirage. They all think that they have received their self-sovereignty, but there is so much sorrow. People are so unhappy. Death is standing just ahead. The Father says all are already dead. This is a graveyard, and you have to make it into a land of angels. You will build palaces studded with diamonds and pearls, Here it is a land of stones, whereas there it will be a land of gold. Therefore the Father explains, when you make a donation, the eclipse of the omens will be removed, and you will then become 16 celestial degrees full. You are now impure. Human beings are so unhappy. When war takes place, people lose their sleep. They say they are unable to sleep. They sleep by taking sleeping pills. This is the kingdom of Ravan. They will now burn Ravan at Dashera. They will continue to burn it until the end, until destruction takes place. After destruction, Ravan's image will not be burnt. Then, in the Copper Age, they will again create Ravan in order to burn him. They burn Ravan every year, but he just doesn't die. You celebrate Raksha Bandhan and have a Rakhi tied each year, and yet you also become impure again. Lakshmi and Narayan had so much wealth. They are worshipped so much. They don't worship Lakshmi alone, they worship the four-armed image. Both are included in that. Together with Lakshmi, Narayan is also needed. They worship both of them. How could anything function without a couple? This is the family path. You become the masters of the world. Some children say that other people tell them, if you don't worship Lakshmi at Diwali, wealth will not come to you. Therefore the Father advises you, children, just play your parts as detached observers. Otherwise there will be conflict. Baba says if you have to get your daughter married, simply play your part as a detached observer. Otherwise there will be a quarrel. If your daughter doesn't want to remain viceless, then in those desperate circumstances get her married. If she doesn't want to remain pure, then just let her go. Don't harass her. A Kumari is one who uplifts 21 generations. All of you are Brahma Kumaris, and your business is to make everyone into a master of heaven. Ask your heart, how many do I make the same as myself? This is a mission. Here you change human beings into deities, and so you have to make a lot of effort. You are God's helpers. I liberate you from sorrow and make you into the masters of heaven. I am altruistic. I give you the kingdom and go into retirement. I have no desire to rule a kingdom. I give you the kingdom. You can take your fortune of the kingdom once again. You know that you were deities. You have gone through 84 births, and today you are part of Ravan's community. People always burn an effigy of Ravan. They never worship Ravan. Those who give happiness are worshipped. They make an image of Ravan and then burn it. He always causes sorrow. How can you praise someone who causes you sorrow? Shiv Baba is the bestower of happiness. People go and offer flowers to him every day, but they don't know his occupation. Nowadays there is a lot of blind faith. Baba says you mustn't forget the Father who gives you the happiness of heaven. Otherwise you won't be able to receive the abundance of happiness of heaven. Since you say Mama, Baba, you will go to heaven, but you will become maids and servants. You children have understood the meaning of the song. After belonging to God, you must not forget this childhood. You have changed from devilish children into godly children, and you are to become deity children. This is your godly birth. At this time you are servers, you are spiritual social workers. Acha. To the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dharma. 1. After taking a godly birth, don't perform any wrong actions. Become a worthy child. Remove the defects and imbibe divine virtues. 2. Become godly helpers and make others equal to yourself by doing spiritual service. Take 3 feet of land and open a spiritual hospital come college. Become a full helper with your body, mind and wealth. Blessing. May you become free from worrying, and by being a karma yogi, perform every action efficiently and successfully. Many children worry about earning an income and sustaining their family. But those who worry cannot become successful in earning an income. Put aside your worries, be a karma yogi, then perform actions. When you have yoga, you will accomplish every task efficiently and successfully. If you earn money with worry, that will only create more worries. Whereas if you earn it happily by being yogyuked, it will bring you happiness. Because as is the seed, so is the fruit that emerges from it. Slogan. Become a holy swan that picks up pearls in all forms of virtues, and not one who picks up stones. Om Shanti.